everyone, and welcome to the Lizard Brains podcast. I'm your host, DJ Alessandrini. I'm joined by my co-host, Tom O'Gorman. Tom, you know what I realized the other day? Christine brought it up. Because more people know your name on the podcast than they know my name, and it's because I say your name twice in the beginning.
Oh, I was going to say, people always say that whenever they hear my name or see me, they think of the way you say my name because of the
Tom!
podcast.
Everyone goes,
Yeah.
Tom!
Tom Garvin. Yeah. I got to come up with a fun way to say yours so you have a brand. You have an identity.
I did a iRacing race, and I noticed that there was a streamer in there, so I went and checked out his stream. And when he was checking out my car, I had a Lizard Brains livery on it, and he goes, "Oh, Lizard Brains, I've listened to that podcast before. I wonder if DJ's on it," or something like that. And I was like, "My guy, what the hell?"
Wait, like he didn't know you were on the podcast?
Yeah, exactly. Like he's like, "Oh, I wonder if he's a part of it." And I'm like, "My guy, what are we doing? Like, do I need to be like, hello, my name's DJ Alessandrini, and I'm joined by Tom O'Gorman."
Yeah. And by the way, my name is DJ.
Let me spell it.
You need me to spell it for you? It's DEEJA. Never mind.
But I just found it
try to make you have a funny spelling, and everything just came out a little bit.
I just find it funny that somebody would know that the podcast exists and that like they've even listened. He said, "Oh, I've listened to a couple episodes," or something like that on his stream, and then just not know who the people were on it, which is like totally reasonable. Like I totally have listened to podcasts where I couldn't name the people's names on it, especially if it's only like two people, because you're just like, yeah, one voice sounds like that and then the other voice sounds like that. Their names are kind of irrelevant to me, right?
Did you ever listen to like FM radio when you were a kid, or like maybe when you were that's maybe not kid, when you were driving to high school, maybe?
Yeah, like the morning show.
Yeah. Did you ever see what those people look like? And you're like, that's what those people look like?
No.
I wonder if that's what we are.
No, I never found out what they look like. It was, I grew up in Michigan, so it was Dave and Chuck the Freak on 89X.
I was a big, not big, I was a Bob and Tom listener.
Bob and Tom?
Oh, Ohio, Indiana people know that one.
Does Andy know Dave and Chuck? Wait, is Dave and Chuck bigger than just like Michigan? Oh, he's from Michigan. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that makes sense.
Live chat. We just became best friends. Anyway, I was talking to Hayward Wagner right before this podcast.
Yeah.
And I'll explain why in a little bit, but I have genuinely no idea what you did this weekend. I probably do and I forget, but how was your week? What did you do this weekend? What's going on?
Yes, okay. I have to remember what I did this weekend. I went to this like arboretum with Christine, and we went like walking around in the trails, and we went in this like canopy walk thing where they like basically, if you imagine like what your porch is on the backyard, imagine that, but like 200 feet in the air. And it's all like, they were all like these suspension bridges, like suspended with like wire and stuff. And it's like, you're walking across it, it's like swaying and moving. And I let out a bunch of involuntary, like, woo, like just wussing it up, like 100%. Like I'm just like holding on to the rails, and Christine just kind of like has her phone out, like taking pictures, and she's just like going with the flow of the thing. And I'm just like, this would be such a dumb way to die. Imagine all the dumb shit I do in cars, and then if I die because of failed engineering, I'm gonna be so mad. So
he died doing what he loved, exploring an arboretum.
No, nobody would say that. Nobody would say that. But
okay, that sounds fun. Was it like a destination thing? This is in Cleveland?
Yeah, it was in Cleveland. I saw like I saw an ad on Facebook of like the canopy walk, so we went and checked it out, and then we like checked out the rest of the thing, and then that was near a micro center, and I've been meaning to upgrade my computer because I've been having some issues with it, and the computer kind of does a lot, everyone. It does like all the sim racing, all the coaching, all the podcast stuff, and I've been having issues with it, so I was like, I'm gonna finally buy the stuff I've been eyeing for like a year. So I got a bunch of I got a new CPU, motherboard, and RAM. And I used to have these like hitches when I would play iRacing. So it would just freeze for like a split second, sometimes more than that. And Tom's experienced this. And I remember when I got kind of used to it. So when it happened to Tom first, he went, huh, what was that? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, so like it's kind of a you get used to like stuff even if it's incorrect. Uh, and now that I've been playing on the sim with a fully functioning computer, it's like this is what it should have been the whole time. Like I have no hitches, everything's running smoothly, everything's fine. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know what the issue was. And if you're listening to this, like I would love to know what like you think the issue is. Yeah, I was getting page faults and it would hitch if the computer was on for like more than like 12 to 24 hours. If it was a fresh restart, I might get one big hitch, but then it would be fine for like hours afterwards. And then it would like slowly like kind of disintegrate into like chaos until it would finally just crash the game.
I don't really understand computers, but I think all me and most of the listeners heard is that you kick our ass with your computer randomly freezing in the middle of whatever's happening, and you just don't have a like you still whoop us so badly.
It every time it happened, I would
But
lose
that's
like
good
a
that
half
it's not
second.
happening anymore.
So yeah, so it's not happening anymore. That's great. And now they're
8K, here you come.
yeah, honestly, I'm getting kind of close. I've been doing some officials, so I'm at 7,500 right now, and
Damn.
just keep plugging away. I do think if I like grind it out, and I generally don't just like pick one series and just like ooh I'm practice up on this track and then just like farm a bunch of I rating. Normally it's like I do like a race or two like a week, and they're like different series. So that's probably not the most optimal way to get I rating. Uh, but that's what I find fun. But if I really want to go get 8K, I think I would just jump in a bunch of GT4 races or Porsche Cup races and then just like grind out like a well practiced track. And I think it would be like an inevitability.
Am I right in saying, let me go back to these 2024 goals, 2025 goals. You had reach 8K I rating on here, didn't you?
Yep.
Where is it?
Yep. That's what I'm saying. I got to get it by the end of the year. So I think I could do it if I just
Yeah.
like grinded it out, but I don't know, it kind of feels is that cheating? I don't know. I feel like everyone who's like a super high I rating has like done that at some point anyways.
Meaning like just done the same thing over and over to
Yeah,
get
like
to get
it's
really
like
good at
I'm
it.
really practiced up on this track. I'm doing well on it, and they just do like 20 races that week, and that's like probably like at least worth like a couple hundred, if not 1,000 I rating. So
You know, I think of it as like that's not a thing I aspire to. So who am I to tell you that you should do it a certain way? If you reach it the way you do it, like if you like the way you did it, go for it.
yeah, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
But I won't really respect you as a driver until
Yeah,
you reach 8K dirt oval.
damn. Oh, I'm never getting that. Those guys are so good. I would have to dedicate myself in a way that I'm just totally not interested in dirt oval. Like that would be a slog. I couldn't even I wouldn't even I would never be able to do that because I'm just not interested.
You'd have
Um
to get down the mud.
and then on Sunday I went autocrossing with nice Tom. He let out a
Thanks.
badoom. Do I have that up? No, I don't. Yeah, it's past. It took me too long to scroll to
That's
the
all right.
page. And then I went autocrossing on Sunday with Peter at Dragway 42. And
Oh,
we were running the car as fast as we could, which really wasn't that fast because oil temps were getting high. Just running because Dragway 42, they use like all the drag strip service roads, like the paddock roads. So it's a lot of straightaways. So just the throttle time on the 020 oil was just like our temps were getting to over 230 on an autocross run. So then we would wait for it to come back down to 200 and then we'd do another run. So like we actually went into the next heat, but they were super cool and just like let us do that.
yeah.
So
That is cool. I saw him today at track night, and I think he was doing a hot lap and then a cool down lap and then a hot lap and a cool down lap, probably for the same reason, right?
yeah, exactly. Because he doesn't have
Yeah.
I think Peter intends to get an oil cooler on the car. He just doesn't have one on it yet. And he wanted to drive pit race before it's dead. So,
Yeah.
so Tom, you had hopefully a bunch of fun this weekend because you went Champcar racing, right?
I did. Yeah. I had a pretty motorsports filled week. I went Champcar racing with Out Motorsports, which was really fun. We raced a Spec 3 at AMP, Atlanta Motorsports Park. I always forget how fun that place is, and also nice. It's like a really, really nice track, and they do have it kinda I mean, it's a member track, so there's a bunch of it you can't do. They have a swimming pool. Have you been there before?
No, that's one of the places I gotta get to.
They have a whole bunch of new condos that you can buy if you're super rich, and they have and they have,
You hear that,
swimming
super
pools.
rich podcast listeners?
They have a gym that's labeled, like, the driver training center. They have, like, all of this, like, holistic, nutrition and,
Oh,
you can get, like,
that would be
IV
so nice.
plugs at the track and
That'd be so
stuff.
nice for that to be like your hangout area.
No kidding. So, there's obviously garages and stuff too, but, the jarring part, the first thing that I saw when I got to the track, and then I'll get into the race weekend, they have this giant LED sign that has, like, 7 slides on it,
Yeah.
and 6 of them are ads, and then the 7th one is this it's a black screen with bright red letters in the brightest LEDs they can get that says, "Warning, you are now entering a hot racetrack. If you go on track, you may get killed or seriously injured. If you do not agree, do not enter." And it's just facing the whole paddock. I was like, geez, maybe don't
Whoa,
lead with
what
that,
the?
guys. Holy cow. It was crazy.
Some lawyer won an argument in like a Teams meeting for that to
I know.
exist. Yeah.
It's like, don't come out here. You might die.
Dude, that's
Jesus.
wild.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay.
okay, yeah,
Ugh.
we know that, but
Um,
like, you don't have to like put it in my face.
yeah. So the team was we had 5 driver it was an all queer team that Jake, the founder of Out Motorsports, put together. And it was 5 drivers, and I think we had 4 crew with us the whole weekend, and then they had some visitors and friends coming in and out as well. And it was so fun, because partially, like, for me on a personal level, it's really refreshing in a way that I don't get to do very often to be with people like me like that.
Yeah.
In the sense, just like the music they pick and the jokes we can make and the references we can make. 99% of the people in my day-to-day life would never get it or never know the references or anything. And that's just like in their vernacular and everything. So like I'm almost the outsider, even though like I'm just trying to keep up now, even though we're at a racetrack and they're not at a racetrack every day and I am.
Yeah.
So it was this fun dynamic of that's happening.
Yeah. Every once in a
But
while,
also,
Tom will throw gay culture my way, and I can't catch it. I have no idea what he's even talking about. I'm just like, what does that even mean?
to be fair, I throw a totally normal movie at you and you also don't catch
That's
it.
true. Okay, maybe I'm not really
That's-
giving. I gave
yeah,
myself too
no,
much
you're doing
credit.
fine. Um, so this team had never raced together before. It was a NASA Spec 3, just like Ryan's that we raced in Lucky Dog a month ago. And Jake owns the car. He races NASA. Obviously, I have racing experience. Then there was a woman who's raced American Iron in the past, but I don't think she's raced since like maybe 2013 in American Iron, and then has done like track days and has stayed behind the wheel, but not competitively.
Okay.
One autocrosser who had never been in a wheel to wheel race ever, and then a guy who mostly does lemons and track day stuff, but still like fairly light experience. And then we had Connor was our strategist, and he's been getting into strategy. And he was actually he kept us together. The team was glued together because Connor paid attention.
Yeah.
Because the rest of us were not we were not paying attention nearly enough. Um, the same way that like Eladio was no who was on the radio for us? Was it mostly Eladio and Diego were handing it off? Is
Yeah, it
that
was.
right?
I don't know if
I'm missing
Eladio.
somebody.
I don't know if Eladio was that much on the radio. Diego was on the radio a lot.
Yeah.
And then
Anyway,
Anthony was on the radio a lot too. So
that's true. So anyway, they were on the radio for us, and then what am I trying to get to? So the fun and kind of amusing part at times was because they were so new to endurance racing. There were just parts of it that we either take for granted that we understand, or there are types of questions that we would think of to ask and stuff, or just scenarios that we don't have to talk about because we just kind of get it from doing it so routinely that they didn't even think about or do like understand or know to ask. For example, the funniest example of this to me was if you're not familiar with Champcar, every car that's eligible for Champcar comes with a points value assessed to it. So if you have a crappy car, it's low points value. If you have a really nice car like a Porsche Boxster, a C4 Corvette, quote unquote nice, it's a high points value car and you can't modify it very much versus a low value car you can modify a lot up to 500 points and every modification has a points value assigned to it. If you go above 500, you run in a bonus class called EC. If you don't, then you can take one penalty lap for every 10 points over you are. And a Spec 3 is like a 650 point car because of the camber plates and the shocks and the springs and the sway bars and the because the champ car rules are meant to make you not spend a bunch of money on parts.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you can like make fully custom bodywork and like chop the windshield off and gut the car down to like 1,800 pounds.
Because that's
So
labor, not parts.
exactly. So
Yeah.
the whole thing is a little bit strange and specific to Champ Car. But because it was their first race, they really wanted to be they didn't understand the consequences of taking all those penalty laps and they wanted to be in the real class. So they took the 15 penalty laps on the tech sheet and they just wanted to be in C class where the car belonged. And they thought, "Oh, we'll just make it up." Because like some of them had done Champ Car, some of them are like they've sprint
Fif-
raced or whatever. They're
15
like,
laps is a lot.
that's like a lot.
That's
Yeah,
a
maybe
lot.
one or maybe two if the car is amazing, but a 15. So I wasn't there that day that they did tech. I got there later that day. So the race starts and they start us on timing and scoring with minus 15 laps. And Connor notices almost right away and he shares that with the whole team. But the team forgot that they had done that. And they went to the timing and scoring people and they go to like the stewards like trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm with them because I don't know what's going on
Yeah.
either. I'm like, why did we start 15 laps down? I
You
don't
guys look
know.
like you're
What is
causing trouble.
yeah. We're like joking, like, are we getting hate crime? Like, what's happening? You know?
That's so funny.
But so then the race control people are like, no, it's because you have the 15 lap penalty from your classing. Because they forgot, they're like, oh yeah, like
Yeah, yeah,
things like
yeah.
that were like, oh, that's kind of amusing. It reminded me so much of when I did my first Lemons race with a random group of friends in like 2010, and we had this crap box Nissan Sentra, and we took it to Nelson Ledges, and we were just like winging it. We were just figuring it out,
Yeah.
and it was so fun to do that, even though we weren't operating at like the high level that not that not that we operate at a high level all the time
There
anyway.
was
I don't want it to
just
make it sound
there
like
was
that,
so
but
much
there's just
room to improve that you were just like picking off the low-hanging fruit. Like every pit stop was better than the last one. And
exactly.
yeah.
And the other fun example is we did the in Champ Car, they have the 5-minute minimum pit stop if you fuel, so that you don't rush and you don't catch fire and you don't forget to buckle in and all this. So we had to do a tire change at one point because we ended up cording the left rear tire at AMP, which side note, I did not expect at all. AMP has like tons of left-hand turns and you're just in carousels forever.
Oh, so it was just
So I was trying to take
dragging.
care of the right-hand tires, but I
Yeah.
didn't think about, yeah, it was dragging the inside of the left rear tire around the track like 60% of the track. And we ended up cording the inside of the left rear tire instead of worrying about the right side tires at all. So
Interesting.
anyway, we have to do a pit stop for this, and we have to do a tire change,
Is
and we do
there
a tire change, refueling, and driver change in 6 minutes, which is like that's very slow.
Yeah.
But we had never rehearsed it. They didn't expect to do it. And they were like, we finished the pit stop and they jump over the wall and they're high five, like we're high fiving and we're
Yeah,
all
that's fun.
celebrating. Like we knocked this thing out, even though like if we were doing that in a real race, we were taking it seriously and we were at the front, we would have lost a lap, you know?
Yeah.
It's that was like it was a little bit of a like pulling back the curtain of like how try hard and lizardy we can be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when you just like reset with a group of friends and go racing.
So I've never done any laps at AMP. I don't even think I've watched video of it. Oh, I did watch a open wheel car do a lap around AMP. It looks like a blast. Um,
Yeah, it's so
but
cool.
but I don't
Cool track.
remember it enough. Is there like a long decreasing or left hander? Because I'm wondering
No,
if.
they're all increasing. So you're on throttle driving the car through them.
Oh, okay. So it was fully loaded up, and okay, then you have a little bit of slip
Yeah.
angle. So okay, I'm understanding how the tire died. Then yeah.
So
Okay.
we were watching the right sides, and of course you can see the outside shoulder wearing, and we're keeping an eye on it and stuff. Didn't even think to look at the left rear. So I drove last the first race. After 6 and some hours, we had 5 drivers, so it was like 6 hours and 20 minutes. I got in, and the tires were like knackered. They were pretty bad. So I was just trying so hard to take care of the right front and take care of the right sides,
Yeah.
but I'm like attacking the left-handers a little bit, and I'm obviously not that worried if I feel a little bit of like rear slip, especially if like a little bit of wheel spin or whatever. Not on my radar. Then the tire cords and it blows up and I have to pit in.
Wait, it
So I'm
actually
thinking
went.
of it through
It,
and I'm
it
like,
it went like you like had tire failure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it like
Okay.
delaminated. It's not delam. What is that? Like the cord, it's like dunk, dunk, dunk,
So
dunk,
I've
dunk,
never
dunk, you
driven
know?
a car to the point where it has tire failure before. So you just hear it like hitting the body and you just like know instantly. You're like, oh, tire died.
Yes, but I felt it a lap prior because I came through the final corner, which is a little right-hand kink. So it sets down on the left rear, and I just have to chase it and chase it and chase it because I'm driving on metal.
Yeah.
Like I'm not on rubber. It was so sketchy. So I'm like, what the hell was that? That's when it corded, I think. And then the next lap it failed. So I'm like going through my head, like, how did that happen? How did I let that get away? And actually, like my main takeaway from my own driving for the weekend was, other than like the weekend being super fun and all this, like I kind of was a little frustrated with myself that I let myself let it get I let it get away from me that much. You know, like I let it get to the point where the tire failed on me. And then I let it get to the point where I had to fuel save the last lap or two because it started to fuel starve and I had like no fuel left because they just told me like go. But they had done fuel calcs based on everyone else. And when they told me to just go, I ended up using more fuel than everybody, and I was
Yeah.
so fixated on the tires and the time that I wasn't the time on the clock, not the lap time, that I wasn't paying attention to the fuel gauge. I'm like, like neither of those things are pro driver.
Could could that car run all
Safe.
the way to empty? Because I know Ryan's
It
couldn't.
could.
It could.
It
Okay.
could. Yeah, it had 2 fuel pumps, whatever that means.
Well,
I don't know if that, does that mean one on each
So
side
did
or
Ryan's car, but like for some reason we were just fuel starving at like a third.
yeah, I don't know. We'll have to get with Ryan on that one.
Yeah.
We'll ask for I have a mug in my hand, everyone. We'll have to ask for a report on our desk by Monday.
Yes. Is he in the
Get
chat?
it?
Is he here by any chance? Oh, he's not.
I
Dang
don't
it.
think
All
so.
right. Well, I guess we'll have to actually find out on Monday.
So I was a little bummed about letting like that I let that happen. Um, but then I'm thinking through like how did it happen? And then we look at the tires and the left side tires are worn all the way down on the left side and the right side tires are worn all the way down on, what did I say? The driver's side tires were worn all the way down on the right side and the passenger side tires were worn all the way down on the right side. So we
Yeah.
were wearing the outsides on the outside of the car, the insides on the
No,
inside of the
you meant
car.
the other way around. The passenger was because the right
Ugh.
hand tires were wearing all the tires were worn to the right.
To the right. Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
we got
So
there.
the next day we rotated them around. So like the right front would go to the left rear, and then the left rear would go to the right rear, and the right front. Like we wore them evenly the next day, even though we only had 8 of them,
did,
whatever.
did you flip
So
them?
we ended up salvaging it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you would just have to. You had enough tires to finish out day two? Because I remember after day one, you were like a little like, I don't know if we'll have enough tire to like finish this thing out.
Yeah, because we had 8 for the weekend, and the one of the other drivers, he got loose coming out of the final corner and like floated to the right and clunked off the guardrail. And the car was fine, but it cut one wheel and it destroyed one tire. So when I had a tire failure and then one of the tires was all cut up from the
So now
bodywork,
you only have
we were down to
6.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one of them was the right front from that race and it was destroyed.
Yep. So now you have
So we're
5.
really down to 5.
Yeah.
So we're playing like a game of like rotation through the race
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
us through the race. That was not ideal. But the tires were free. Thank you, Bridgestone. We appreciate that. And yeah, it was a fun weekend. Trying to think if there were any other stories from the weekend that I meant to tell. But after that race, if they come to me, I'll tell them. Uh, Connor drove me to, so I'd flown in and then I went to the race and then Connor drove me to Asheville, North Carolina, and I stayed with Hayward Wagner for 2 days because we went to track night together today to Pittrace because it was the last one ever.
Yeah.
And I did the first one ever. And honestly, there were like 8 or 9 people who did the first one ever out of the 200 people who were there today, which is pretty wild, really. Like after 10 years, the first one was in April of 2015, and the last one's in almost November of 2025.
I think did I inadvertently do the first one ever?
It would have been one of the first ones.
I don't know exactly when I know it was early 2015 that I did the yeah, 2014. At the end of 2014, I sold the my Civic and got an S2000. And then in 15, I remember I like immediately went to the racetrack with it, crashed, and then went, "Oh, I should get better autocrossing before I keep doing this." And then and then
Yeah.
and then like kept autocrossing for like another couple years before I went back on track. So I'm curious, are you trying to find that video of me running into a wall?
I'm just gonna see when it is. It just says 10 years ago.
Yeah, dang it. It doesn't say like the date or
Nope, it
whatever.
says Tuesday, June 9th,
Oh,
2015.
okay,
It
so it
was in
must have
June.
been like one of the okay, and I doubt they would wait a couple months to like send it or whatever. Okay, I wasn't sure when in 2015. I was just thinking, man, that'd be kind of cool if I went to like the first track night in America at Pittrace, but whatever. I went to like the second or whatever. But I didn't
Yeah.
realize so because I was just getting into motorsports when I went to the first my first track night in America. I just kind of thought that was a thing. I didn't realize it like it just started.
It started with, like, a big swing, like, they put a ton of marketing dollars behind it. They got a bunch of different outlets to, like, support it. It started really strong. But so that was why I went to Asheville. I stayed with him for 2 days. That was super nice. Asheville, North Carolina is kinda cool.
It
It's like a
is.
really kind of artsy, folksy mountain town.
They got hit hard by
Like, I
that hurricane though, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, Hayward's neighborhood, the entrance to his neighborhood is over a little bridge, and it got knocked out in that hurricane, so they couldn't get out of their neighborhood for, like, weeks, I think.
that's wild.
Months, maybe. They had to find, like, a back way out over another little creek. Uh, so inadvertently, like, we would go in and out of kind of, like, SCCA and racing related conversations, but also we've been friends since, like, 2010, so it's just
Yeah.
kinda hanging out with your friend. And then pit race today, we did a double. It was 9 to 1 and then 2 to 6, and the reason it was a double is the first one was full when they announced that it was closed, and people just started getting on their wait list, wait list, wait list, wait list, and they finally asked, like, "Can we just add a second to this day or get a second date?" So they added the 9 to 1 session, and a ton of people from the wait list got in, I think 110 people. And it was kinda wild because of the circumstances of the track closing. It was a bunch of people who either knew it was their last chance to drive the track and
Yep.
hadn't before or hadn't driven it in a long time. There were people who hadn't driven it since before it was Beaver Run, when it was only the North Course. One guy didn't even know there was more of the track, and he did the North Course thinking that that was the track, and then realized that he did the wrong thing because he rejoined,
Oh
right?
my
Okay, so
goodness, dude.
there were cars that hadn't been on track in years or months. There it was just like the circumstances around it actually created kind of a chaotic
Yeah.
start to the first session at like 9 in the morning today,
That
which I didn't even know, like, how could I have thought of that until you do a day like that when you're operating a track day?
yeah. Well, so I actually thought about this before, and that's just because I'm plugged into like the Steel Cities autocross thing. But I know a bunch of people were like, "Well, I'm gonna go." And I know a bunch of people like their first time ever on the track was like the last track night in America that was like a couple weeks ago. And because
Yep.
they're like, well, I obviously can't wait for some future date. I'm just gonna do it now. And then they went out there and they had a blast. And some people were like, "Oh, I didn't realize how hard it was on brakes," and all like the normal, like I've never been on a racetrack learnings was like happening to like a large swath of the like that local autocross community.
Yeah. Yep.
And normally those learnings like it trickles because like people will trickle like into the track stuff from like other avenues of different motorsports. So it's like a trickling of learning, but like I'm willing to bet that it's a little chaotic when it's like entire run groups of people are like just figuring this thing out for the first time. It honestly kind of sounds a little fun, to be honest.
I think maybe it was a little much when the thing started running and the advanced group was fine, and then intermediate goes out and something happens, and novice goes out and it's novice, and then advanced goes out again and something happens. I think we had 3 red flags in the first 5, not red, black flags in the first 5 sessions or
I was gonna say
something.
red flags. Holy crap, what's going on over
No, no,
there?
no, no. And it's just like, what is happening a little bit, you know? And I mean, you've heard my drivers meetings for
Yeah.
advanced intermediate. It starts with, you've self-placed into these groups. With that comes this expectation. And I say, this is the expectation for you. Also, you're sharing the track, not in competition today. So be generous to each other, be patient with each other. We're going to use the yellow, blue, black, red, and checkered flags. I expect that you understand how point buys work. This is how you can do it. Like, I'm literally not rattling this off that much faster than I do in the driver's meeting, right?
Yeah.
And I realized that that just was not sufficient for the first group today. So I added more for the second group, just as a and what we found this morning is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's a bunch of cars that have been in the garage since the last time you were on track, or they've only been on the skid pad for autocross, or you haven't driven this track in 8 years. Just remember the most important things are your mirrors And oh shoot, and the flags. Keep an eye on your gauges. If you feel overwhelmed, come take a little break. If you need to, make sure that you're not doing anything that you're not
Yeah, yeah,
comfortable
yeah.
with. You know, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like adding uh these little honestly, like, I think they're kinda nuggets that everybody should remind themselves of,
Yeah.
but I never think to say that to an advanced group of drivers
No,
until today. That was like, "Man, these people needed a little bit more like, 'By the way, you're going on a racetrack today,' kinda
th
thing."
this is how drivers meetings turn into half-hour things because you're like, "Oh, man, maybe everyone should hear that thing." But, like, the problem is with the drivers meeting is that you have to choose and pick, like, what you're actually gonna say because people only have, like, a 5 to 10-minute attention span, so
Yeah. And I wanted to say something that Dan Dennehy shared in the second drivers meeting when he had gotten there. Uh, he basically said, you know, we take for granted that we've seen a lot of these people here over the last 10 to 15 to 20 years, however long you've been coming here. And you may not realize that this is the only place you see them, but now that we're losing this place and this third space, the opportunity to see these people that are in your lives, like, take the chance to grab their phone number today, or make sure that you have a way to like stay in touch if it's a person that you want to be in contact with, or if you
yeah.
want to have in your life, because we're not going to be able to just take for granted that you see these people every month or every 2 months now at this place, because it's not going to be here. So like, he said it more eloquently than that,
Yeah,
but it
dude,
was a really
Dan's so smart when it comes to, like, human connection and relationships. Like, he's anytime I'm
yeah,
talking to Dan, I'm like, "You got this, like, human relationship thing figured out." Like, he's really, really good about that.
yeah,
'Cause I wouldn't think about that, but, like,
no,
he probably there's probably at least, like, a dozen people in that crowd that went, "You know what? I am gonna talk to Tim and get his phone number because, like, I always enjoy seeing him here, and, like, I would hate to, like, lose contact with him or whatever," right? So,
yeah.
yeah, that's super heads up from Dan.
I brought my speaker to grid again. Stood down there most of the day.
That's where the chaotic energy came from.
No, it was a little speaker this time. It was
Oh,
just for
little
me,
speaker,
my
okay, it's much better.
private speaker. I feel like I'm just telling stories at this point, but there
That's what we're
wasn't
here
much.
for.
Oh, the other part I was gonna say, dude, that place has been kinda ransacked.
Yeah, it seems like
Uh,
everyone's stealing stuff from it.
yes, up at last week's Lucky Dog race, and I guess we can't blame Lucky Dog because a bunch of people joined the Lucky Dog race just to race the track one more time. So it wasn't like the Lucky Dog people, but during the Lucky Dog race, like, all of the posters and signs and track maps disappeared from the classroom. The walls are like completely bare,
No
just
way.
hangers. It looked like the freaking Grinch has gone
Dude,
through
that's
freaking pit
crazy.
race. It's wild.
Somebody stole me. I'm not gonna out them, but somebody stole. Not they didn't steal me.
Stole you
Sorry.
what?
No, they stole a sign from the karting track, and they said I stole this for you.
Oh my god.
So at some point, I'll
There are
have a sign from the karting track. Apparently,
Don't tell people. They're actually, so there's the only things left in the classroom that were like not uh like the tables and chairs was a really nice Oakley case where they used to display sunglasses, a really nice Garmin case with a display Garmin catalyst, and then a really nice GoPro case with what appeared to be a bunch of GoPro product in it,
yep.
including cameras. And I was like, so maybe like it'd be kind of cool to have that Garmin case in my apartment. It could be like a cool trophy case or something.
So
Hayward,
you stole
what
it?
do you think?
Oh my goodness,
No, no.
Tom! I
So
cannot
so
believe you.
so Hayward's like, no, no, no. The track manager said they have everyone who stole anything on camera. And I was like, are they gonna do anything about it? You know?
Yeah, that
So
sounds
next
like
week when you see my Garmin case right here, no, I'm kidding. We didn't take it.
I that Oakley case. That's where these sunglasses came from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I purchased these pit race. Just saying. But yeah, they came out of that case. I bought one of the last sunglasses that was in it. So
Nice. Apparently, the pro shop is like empty at this point. Not stolen, but everything's. Oh, Joel in the live chat said at Lucky Dog Drivers meeting, the track VP Scott said, if you want to take anything, go ahead and I'll look the other way.
and I
Not
looked
sure
the
he
other way,
realized how much people would take.
dude. That's actually amazing. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Whoop, sorry."
Woo. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
it's like I remember the old Detroit Tigers stadium. It was a baseball team. If you follow sports as much as I do,
is
um,
that the Thunderdome?
no, no, no. That was the football team. Um, I think it was called the Thunderdome. Anyways,
Silverdome.
Silverdome. That's what it was called. What the hell is the Thunderdome? Uh,
That's a movie, I think.
Okay, I was gonna say that sounds like a wrestling like WrestleMania like event or something. But anyways, they played like their last baseball game at like the old stadium, and people were just like literally stealing seats out of the stadium. They were just walking out with like the seats. They brought tools to disassemble the seats, and then they just took it with them.
I mean, at that, why not? Alina made an amazing joke today. She was like, "Can they steal the bathrooms and put them at Mid Ohio
Or Gingerman, yeah.
or Gingerman?" Yeah.
Oh, dude, look, it is a wrestling thing. Thunderdome. Andy just posted it. It is a wrestling thing. Oh my god, I'm ashamed that I knew that. Oh no.
Wow.
I never followed wrestling, just for the record.
I don't believe you. You seem like a wrestling kid.
What? No, I wasn't. I tried to get into it because I thought Hulk Hogan was cool. But then like 7-year-old me found out that they weren't competing and it was just like a show. And I was like, well, that's boring. And then 7-year-old lizard brain DJ went to go try to challenge people in Pokemon Blue to battle. I had a little charge cord, a little cable. Come on, let's battle. I had all my freaking hacked Pokemon that was like basically cheating.
With rare candies, second rare candy mentioned on the podcast. Um, there was something else about that I was gonna say. Thunderdome wrestling. Oh, I had a Johnny Lightning car that was all gold chrome and it said Goldberg up the side, and I didn't know what that was. Apparently, it was a wrestling guy. His like it was a branded wrestling guy car.
Okay.
But I thought that gold plated like Johnny Lightning model car was so
Dude,
cool.
wrestling is probably like it is leaked out into like normal culture so much, and because I haven't followed wrestling at all, it there's probably so much that is just part of like the day to day. Like maybe it'll be like things people say. Like I know like the cream always rises to the top is like that's like some wrestling meme thing or whatever. Is that a wrestling thing? The hand waving in front of the face?
Yeah, can't see me. I know that's a wrestling thing.
Okay, yeah, dude. So that's what I'm talking about. There's so many wrestling things that just exist in our sphere that I don't even know are wrestling things because like I never followed it.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, but that's true for everything. I was just gonna say, uh, sorry, not sorry. Never mind. Confidently saying, I mean, wrestling and drag are not all that different. It's just like performers faking something.
Yeah.
They're fake fighting. These other people are fake singing. But there's so much of like drag and queer culture that people don't realize. Do you ever hear the same? Do you ever hear the saying "Not today, Satan"?
Yeah.
That comes from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh,
There's a bunch of lexicon from that people don't even
yeah.
know about. So yeah,
And it just
what's a racing thing? Is there a racing thing that I
ooh,
mean? There's
uh
guys. If you're listening to
if
this,
you ain't
what's a
first, you're
racing
last.
term?
If you ain't
If you ain't
first, you're
first, you're
but
last.
that's like
Ugh,
Talladega Nights,
gross.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Ka-chow.
I hear that like just
I am
outside of
speed.
racing. I don't know if I'll hear that. I think like the racing stuff is like media that's about racing, but not actually the racing itself. I don't think that like that doesn't really go into culture. The only way it would is if it was a like a very influential driver. So like I'm thinking like, you know, the Dale Earnhardt days or um I'm like I can't even think of like a Formula 1 driver that would have like any kind of like they would have to say something. Oh, like maybe stuff that like Vettel has said over the radio or like
How about this? Do, 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 do.
is that a Carlos Sainz thing?
Max Verstappen.
Oh.
No, Carlos Sainz thing. What the?
What? Because he sings on the radio. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, smooth operator.
That was a great
Spanish.
impression. I love that impression. That was great.
Yeah.
uh,
Um.
but hey, if you're thinking
Oh,
of if you're thinking of some ways that motorsports has influenced like the broader culture, like please let us know because I think that would actually be kind of interesting.
That's a great exercise. Also, this is a segue to our next exercise class. Um, exercise, comma, class. Kelsey in the chat said, come to ECR for time trial nationals. The bathrooms are excellent. Did you see that announcement today?
I did, and then I watched some laps, and ECR, it's in Texas, right?
Yeah, Eagles Canyon Raceway.
Dude, it looks like an awesome track. It looks like the NCM of the South.
It's legit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So a little bit of inside baseball at the runoffs in the media room. Someone from the national staff spitballed out like, where should we take TT Nats? Because they had just announced like the day before that Pitt was closing, and everyone was caught off guard, right? And they had just announced like a multi-year deal with Pitt to keep TT Nats there. So they kind of let it go and fizzle for a minute, like we were spitballing tracks, and they're like, all right, so it's either going to be at Mid Ohio, Barber, or Eagles Canyon. Where do you think it should like rank them? You know. So all of us in the media room are having this like spitballing back and forth.
And you
The
probably
first
said
thought
Mid
was like
Ohio.
Barber's so cool. No, Barber was
You
the
said
first one
Barber?
everyone
Yeah.
perked up for. Not just me, many people. But then it's like, you know, Barber's not necessarily the best time attack track from a function of putting 30 people who are doing time trials on the track at the same time.
Yeah.
Disappearing is difficult. Space is difficult. It's, you know, it's a really nice facility. There's like there's good and stuff. Good and bad stuff. So then Mid Ohio is only 2 hours from where it just was. People from the Midwest, they just got used to it being there. It's great. Now Mid Ohio's not that great either for like 30 cars doing time trials at the same
Yeah,
time. It's
because
also kind of difficult to
there's
disappear on half
half
the
of the
track.
track is like you literally can't get out of the way.
Yeah, so there's all these SCCA staff dorks like spitballing back and forth. And Eagles Canyon,
You call them
it's like,
dorks.
yeah, we are. I'm calling me dork.
Tom was part of that
They,
dork group.
I, chief dork to you.
Oh,
So
sorry.
we're talking Eagles Canyon. It's like the track has really nice facilities. It's got long straights with interesting sequences of corners. It's the longest, so it can take the most cars without being the worst experience.
Mhm.
The downside is it's really far from where people are used to this stuff being, but also it's in like a hot spot of track and time trial people. Anyway, so this whole conversation takes place. It fizzles out after maybe 40 minutes, 30 minutes. The next race starts and we move on. So then they announced today Eagles Canyon is the track. It's like, all right, cool. And it seems like people are really into the idea. And I'm with you. Like I've been there a couple times. It is a really fun lap. The other cool part is it has 4 layouts because they can run both layouts front and back.
Oh.
There's a short and a long course.
Oh, we could see a return
And
of
like
the segments, like the track sprints, and actually, can you go different directions on the track? Because that's the thing.
there's a long course and short course that you can run clockwise and counterclockwise.
Yes, please. Okay, look, SCCA national staff, I hope you're listening to this right now. Just wild it up. Just do wild stuff and let the drivers figure it out. That's the competition I want to do. I don't want to do laps on the same track. Even though I've never driven the track before, I don't want to do laps on the same track the whole weekend, especially if it's an extended weekend. Do one way one day, the other way the next day. Like do like track sprints where you're using different layouts that like you normally wouldn't drive. Like, please do that.
You know what I want to do?
What?
Because I just can't have it. It's never good enough for me. I want to have it be. Do you remember? Oh shoot, I forget the name of the competition, but it was the X Games, and the cars would start on 2 different layouts, and then at one point, right at the end, they would join the same layout, and they would race wheel to wheel right at the very end.
Oh, race
You
wheel
remember
to
this?
wheel at
Remember
the
this?
end. No, I don't remember this. What was this? Are you thinking
It
of
was
Race of
like
Champions?
no X Games
X Games. Were they in like rally cars?
rally cars.
Joel said
So
global rally
I
cross.
think they should start one car it's like a track cross, but you start one car in one part of the track on one layout, and the other car on the other part of the track on a different layout. And then when the layouts join, you can have like a row of cones all the way down the middle. So they're never quote unquote wheel to wheel, but they finish like door handle to door handle, like Pro Solo. Oh, how cool would that be?
How would you even it out?
Math. I don't know. Test it out.
Yeah, but different cars are going to have different advantages to different. Screw it. Just has to be close. That's all Tom said.
Yeah. No, that's far fetched. But I'm curious, like, okay, time trialers, time attackers. Ooh, here's an interesting question. Let me finish my thought and I'll come back. So my thought is, do time trialers / time attackers want the track to change a bunch, or do they want the track to be the same and have a bunch of attempts at it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Which leads me to the question, are time trialers and time attackers the same thing?
I think there's a
Ooh.
huge overlap, but one could argue
Yeah,
that it's different.
you're right. That's a
Yeah.
silly question.
Uh,
I'm curious. If
yeah,
you're listening to
I'm
this and you
curious
have
as
thoughts,
well.
like, join the Discord and tell us, because I think we're in the outliers of time attackers where we think it would be cool to do a completely different track every single time we go on track, and it all counts, and you have to get good really fast.
I think I would like the intensity of like, and obviously I would like prepare in the simulator and stuff like that. So I would like at least know where the corners go. Um, but I I would like the intensity of like every session matters. Like I would love that type of intensity because like we've talked about this before on the podcast, but like what happens too often is like day one, you'll set a lap. It wasn't even a good lap, but that ends up being like your fastest lap for the whole day just because the sun came out. And then you know that the next day is your only chance at like actually setting the fast lap. So then it comes down to that one session in the morning, Sunday morning, and you go out there and you just put together the best lap you can, either the first one or the second one. There's going to be an optimal of those two. And hopefully you just put it together in that time. And then the competition is just kind of over if you're just going for
Yep.
like fast lap, right? But what if it was like different segments and they all add together and like it's always different and it's different layouts and like the sun coming out doesn't matter and all this other stuff like where it's like you're instead of just like you're driving on track the whole time but you're really only competing in that one session, you're competing the entire time. That sounds like what I want to sign up for is where the entire time is a competition.
You want it to be one lap on the same track all weekend.
Yes. Oh, please.
How about what about this? We create a system where we multiply your lap time by a decimal that factors into what time of day you ran and how hot it was.
No, what?
And then we could call it something like tax.
Tax time time adjustment calculation, and for some reason calculation comes up as it's CS calculation system. Time attack time hold on. Time attack calculation system tax.
Ta- tax. Yeah, I love it. Andy said time attack is Japanese, everything else is sparkling time trials.
Sure.
Good champagne joke.
All right. Got anything else to talk about from your motorsports week? It's been a while since you've had a full week of motorsports there, Tom.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I did nothing on Monday and Tuesday but hang out and recharge. Trying to think if there's anything else. Did I write anything down? Watch, I would have written one thing down and it's going to make no sense. No, didn't.
Okay,
I think that's
cool.
it.
Yeah, we'll jump over to answer some emails. You ready?
Yeah.
Emails. The way to write in emails, we haven't really talked about this in probably like 50 episodes, but the most proper way to write in emails is to join our Discord. And there's a channel in the Discord where all the questions go into. It's called No Mic Questions. We originally intended for people to jump up on stage and ask their questions, and then we would kick them off stage. But apparently, people jumping on stage is that's pretty nerve wracking. So now we just have questions that we answer in the Discord in a specific channel. So that's what we do, and we love all the questions we get, especially the ones that are weird. And we got some weird ones, Tom.
Let's start with a weird one. Why not?
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
This came from this is like a waterfall of questions. Starts with Derek asking, "What's your full sheets order?"
So Sheets is like a
Then-
gas station made to order. Like they have like a little restaurant-y thing in it.
Yep. And then Danny asked, "Okay, and also what's your Wawa order?" And then Raul says, "And also Bucky's." And then Ducky's, Devin asked, "What's your cookout order?" And then it devolved into, I don't even know what. All right, so let's start at the top.
Okay, well, hold on.
TJ, what's your sheets order?
Those other three I've never ordered food at. So
I've never ordered food at any of these, so this might be a short, weird question.
wait, have you not ordered food at Sheets? I feel like you've been with
my
me.
gas station order is sugar-free
Hold
energy
on.
drink.
Hold on. You've been with me when we've ordered Sheetz food. Did you just watch me order Sheetz food?
I don't remember what I ordered, but I mean, I did do that, but I ate once. I don't know if that's my
Yeah.
order.
Yeah, well, it
That
was
was
this
an
order.
order.
Yeah, I think Tom ordered chicken. That was probably it.
Yeah, it was chicken fingers probably. All right, so everyone else, this can be an interactive podcast question, but DJ, what's your Sheets order? Sounds like you feel passionately about this.
Well, it kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for, but really there's not that many options in my opinion. Like the burgers aren't good. At least I don't think they're any good. The bread is like never good. And you need good bread for like a good burger, and the bread is just like meh. So like that's not cutting it. So to me, if it's in stock and if for some reason it's like rarely in stock, they have just tacos and they're just like fried hard shells, and they're like actually super good. So I get those if they're in stock. And if they're not in stock, then I just get like the chicken bites, the ones that are just easy to stab with a fork, that are like thrown in like a creamy buffalo sauce, because I can just eat those while I drive down the road.
Okay. Where on the scale of Wawa tacos are we when it comes to like
You
freezer taquitos to Taco Bell?
you mean
Let's start there.
Sheets tacos?
What did I say?
You said Wawa.
Yeah, Sheets tacos.
Yeah, they all blend together in Tom's brain. He's like, yeah, 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 whatever. I'm just there for the beef jerky and the sugar-free Red Bull.
Yeah. No, I'm developing an opinion. I'm gonna go
Okay,
in hot on
okay.
this one in a second.
It's like they're like similar to hard shell tacos that you'd get at like a cheap Mexican restaurant. So not like a super good Mexican restaurant, but like a cheap one. But they make the shells themselves. That's like what it tastes like. So it's not, they didn't like get it out of a little box. They like fried and like made the tortillas themselves, but it's also a really cheap place. So the meat's not super high quality, and like the other ingredients might be a little old, but you know what? Sour cream holds it all together. Like that's the best way to describe it.
Got it. And yes, my Sheets order is a sugar-free energy drink and a beef jerky stick with cheese,
Yep.
probably. All right, Wawa. I got a Wawa order actually.
Do
I
you?
used to go to Wawa to eat lunch every time I worked track night at New Jersey Motorsports Park. And I would get they had these turkey pinwheels in the fridge that I would get, and they have the best it's the only place I get coffee because they have this coffee bar full of actual like cartons of different flavored creamer and all the different like sugars and stuff. They have like the best coffee spread. So I get the French vanilla coffee in their coffee. Sometimes I'll go a little crazy and get the French vanilla coffee with the French vanilla creamer, and then I've had my dessert for the day.
Yeah.
You've never been to a Wawa? I think Wawa's
I've
better than
I've
Sheets.
been to a Wawa, but I was just there to get like caffeine for the next day. It wasn't like I was there to like
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't like
So your
passing
Wawa
one.
order
Yeah.
is a sugar-free energy drink
Yeah.
and a beef stick. What about Buc-ee's? My Buc-ee's order is
I've never gotten food at
the
Buc-ee's.
breakfast tacos.
Yeah.
Breakfast tacos at Buc-ee's are lit. But also, if you go out of your way to get Buc-ee's at anywhere other than the one in front of Barber Motorsports Park, I don't trust you.
I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't leave my dog with you.
I have had the breakfast
I don't have a
burrito
dog.
from Bucky's, and it just made me miss the chorizo burrito from Gingerman. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I was like, this is almost like the chorizo burrito from Gingerman, but not quite. Like that's what I remember thinking. What about like
Sure.
what about like Loves or any of like uh
Same as Sheets.
same as Sheets? Just beef jerky?
Sugar-free energy drinks. Hey, real quick, let's pivot. Some underrated snacks. If you see these little edamame, like air fried edamame things, those are so good.
Edamame? Like the little green like pea things?
Little green pea pod things. I think
Yeah.
they're called like Simply Fresh or something like that. Those
Oh,
are
yeah, yeah, yeah.
incredible.
They're not fried or anything. You're talking about the ones in
I
like
mean,
the like the pickle bag?
they're in a bag. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
They're in the bag. They're in the chip aisle. I'm sure they're not good for you, but
Oh, we're
they
thinking
feel
of
good
different
for you.
things. I'm thinking, you know, the like the pickles that like come sliced?
Yes. No, 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 not those.
Oh,
Not
okay,
those.
okay.
But those little pickle bags, they're pretty good.
They are good. That's good. If like you're feeling a
What
little
are we
worn
talking
down,
about?
I don't know. I like this part of the podcast though. So if you're
I do
feeling a
too.
little worn down from the racetrack, like those little pickle bags are freaking great. Like they're full of a bunch of
Yep.
electrolytes and like they're I don't know. I love those things. I know Tom's not gonna have an opinion on this, but I'm wondering what the chat thinks. What gas station has the best pizza? It's Love's, right? It's got to be
Oh,
Love's.
pizza.
Yeah, it's Love's, right? Like they're the only ones that have like real ass pizza. Sheets has pizza. What the? All right. Here's an unpopular opinion. Speedway. It is the most trash pizza ever, but there's something in those pepperonis. I swear to God. Like you, it doesn't taste good the first time you eat it, but there's something in there where like you're craving it the second time. And when you get one of those pepperonis, you get like a dopamine hit because I swear to God, there's something in those things. And the second time you eat a slice of pizza from Speedway, it's better. So make that make sense.
I spaced out because this is the most active the chat has ever been. So apparently we're hitting on gold here. What space are we talking about? Has the worst but the best pizza?
Speedway. And not all
Speedway.
speedways have
Yeah, yeah,
pizza.
no.
Yeah, not all speedways have pizza. Racetrack. I don't think I have been to a racetrack roll. Do they have good pizza?
I think racetrack and sheets are basically all the same.
I've never had
That
a Sheets
genre.
pizza. I'm gonna have to try that. There's a Sheets not too far away from my house, and they're open all the time. I might go get it after the podcast. Just saying.
Andy asked, "Has anyone ever shopped for groceries at Quick Trip?" Yes, when I moved to Wisconsin. By the way, Quick Trip in the South is fake, the one with a Q. Quick Trip in the North with a K is the real one, and it's the best gas station of all time. And you can legitimately shop for your groceries there. And when I moved to Wisconsin, I was there from shit. I moved in December 1st. I went to visit my parents for Christmas on December 18th. I didn't have any groceries, any serveware, nothing. I lived out of a Quick Trip gas station for 2 weeks. And I had real meals. They have like made meals every day. They have hot meals, they have cold like frozen meals. It's so good. Everybody in Wisconsin has it the best of all time. And if you live in the South and you have a Quick Trip with a Q, it's just a racetrack sheets. It's false, fake
I,
news.
I've been to this gas station that Tom lived out of. We make it sound like you like lived in the back of it or something. And
Yeah.
it had like baked goods. It like yeah, that might be I don't think they're all like that though. I think it was just that
They
one.
are. Every single one is the same.
Hmm, dang. We're
Yeah,
missing
it's
out.
great. We go there for lunch sometimes. We would go there and get like we would get chicken there, we would get soup, mac and cheese. Oh, it was so good.
Mm.
Quick Trip for the win. That's the best one. Everyone should go live in Wisconsin. then I
Uh,
would then I'd be happier living up there.
you know what I realized
Nothing would be as far.
I'll never have again is Al's Corner because Pit Race is gonna be gone, and that was the only
I had
reason I
my
would ever be in that area.
I had my last Alice Corner today.
Yeah. I'd always get pizza. I'd get a slice of pizza and eat it on my way home.
Hayward looked over at me while we're driving through those back roads before you pass Al's Corner. He's like, "It's really sad these random roads aren't relevant to us anymore." I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
oh,
you know that curvy road?
life is twisting."
That
Yeah.
curvy road that like if you're driving down the racetrack and Al's Corner would be on your left and you turn right at that intersection, that like nice little curvy road there. I'll
Yep.
never drive that road again for no like unless I just go there for just that road.
You know what? I think this might be an interesting idea to have some sort of like destination rally there, like next year for old time's sake.
And see what data center showed up so we can boycott that product.
No, we don't. I mean, we could go do burnouts near the data center just to like screw with them. But I'm talking like a proper either scavenger hunt rally or something Hayward and I talked about on this trip is TSD rally, like time, speed, distance rally. I've never done that
I
before.
don't even know what that
I
is.
think so it would be the kind of rally where you start at a fixed time and you have a fixed speed to travel on average throughout the thing over the distance that you're traveling. And the closest you hit that exact target by the end is the winner.
Is it like
So
an
like
average speed? So like
yes.
depending on what time you get there is kind of dependent on what the when
Yeah. So
when everyone just show
say
up in
that
the
you
last
have
minute of the thing or whatever?
I mean, In theory, yes, but I get the impression it's way harder than you think
Yeah, you would just speed and
because
then sit outside the thing and then like pull in.
I think it's more segmented than that. I think it's like
Oh,
many,
okay,
many,
that
many
makes sense.
checkpoints throughout.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it works. We'd have to do some research. I think a scavenger hunt rally would work just fine. We could do like an RI pit race, RIP pit race, destination. Little everyone drives to that area. We do a little scavenger hunt for the day. We go to the only good Mexican restaurant that's nearby for the night, and then or 4 o'clock, and then everyone still goes home for the night.
Can some data center components like an RTX 6000 GPU be part of the scavenger hunt?
Is that a car part?
That's like the
That's a turbo, right?
no, that's like the $30,000 graphics
Brake pad?
cards that data centers use.
A copy. No, but I like the burnout idea. Or we could just go set it on
Burnouts.
fire.
Set it on
Arson.
fire. You
The
you heard
arson
it.
road rally.
You heard it. You heard it here first on the Lizard Brains podcast. We encouraged felonies apparently.
Yeah. Goodness.
I think it has to go without saying that please don't go burn anything down. I don't know. I don't know if that could actually be used against us. We do put this out into a public space, so
Yeah. This podcast is the criminal podcast. We've talked about stealing. We've talked about arson.
yeah.
What else do you want to talk
I
about?
might just name the podcast "We're Criminals." That might be the title.
Is there any tax fraud you want to admit to?
Nope,
By
absolutely
the way,
not.
you better write off that you better write off all that computer stuff you bought.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I literally only use this computer for the podcast and sim racing, so that makes
For work.
sense. Yeah.
All right, you want to pick a question? I did the silly one.
Yeah. I guess I'll just
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
make you find the serious one.
no, I'm scrolling just way down because so these older questions aren't forgotten. Taylor Wargo writes in, I literally just scrolled to this random place. It was from June. So to give you an indication how old this question is, ways to teach and practice bandwidth. That's what he wants to know. And stop me if we've answered this one before, but he said he also asked ways to address and handle burnout before it's too late. Have we talked about ways to expand bandwidth?
I feel like we've talked about both of these at least abstractly. Maybe not answering this question.
Well, we didn't
So
remove it from our pinned question, so I think we're answering it again.
do it again. The bandwidth part first. Honestly, the more I do it, the more I think about this. I think exposure is the best way to minimize. Maximize bandwidth.
Yep.
Work on expanding your bandwidth.
Well,
Just the more you do something, the better you get at it.
let's think about
annoying to think.
let's think about what bandwidth is, right? It's you not having to focus on aspects that have you competing in a car, navigating around a racetrack, racing a car, right? The less you have to think about those things, the more automatic they are, the more bandwidth you have, right? So if you think about all these different things that we have to do, and it's a lot of things, and sometimes it's easy to lose track of all the things that we're doing when we're behind the wheel, until you like are with somebody that's like completely new and they're having to like try to think of all the things that's happening inside that car, and you're like, holy crap, there's a lot of crap happening inside this car. All that stuff, like Tom said, the more you're exposed to it, the repetition, it gets turned into automatic behaviors. The automatic behaviors is the thing that increases that bandwidth. So we don't necessarily only have to be driving a car in an autocross or on a racetrack or whatever to increase the bandwidth. Stuff like proper interaction with the steering wheel. So like our hands in the right spot, them not like folding over each other or like shuffle steering. And having like light hands on the wheel, just where you're holding the wheel just tight enough where you have control of the wheel, but not any tighter than that. All that stuff can be practiced just literally on your daily commute, just driving to Chipotle or to Sheetz or Wawa or whatever. You just have to focus on it when you're doing it. Because if you're just driving without focusing on that thing, you're not building those pathways in your brain. And building the pathways in your brain is how you build the bandwidth. And you have to actively think about those things that are making you think about it when you're competing or on track or whatever you're doing where extra bandwidth would help you. You have to actively build those pathways. So one, identify what they are, and then try to figure out a way to like practice it out without, having to spend time at a competition trying to practice that stuff out, because that's the worst place to try to practice that stuff.
That was going to be my second part with driving specifically. I've said it before on the podcast. I think driving on the street gives you such a massive opportunity uh, to practice the sport that we all love and the activity that we all love without doing anything illegal, without going fast. To me, honestly, like this sounds crazy, and this is part of my strength and weakness in life. But when I get pinned on the highway next to somebody that I could have predicted a way that not get stuck behind them, it feels just as bad as when I like go four off or when I hit a cone at a national event. Like I hate that so much that I didn't have the foresight to see that that was going to happen and make sure it didn't happen. I think that's like obviously that's a specific example, but I think that that plays into both the awareness that driving every day can have,
Yep.
specifically racecraft. That is like a very one to one compares apples to apples with traffic and racecraft, but also when you're talking about driving position, hand position, the way you react, like reaction time to stoplights. Are you paying attention to did that light in my upper left just go red? So that one's going to go green in
Yeah,
a
like
second.
try to expand
Like
your
adding that
vision.
level of urgency and vision expansion and all that. Like you can do all of that without driving any faster. I think also there was one other example, vision on the street. Also, like if you the example I use in the car all the time is a roundabout, a cloverleaf intersection on a highway. Like you could just stare out your passenger window through a right hand cloverleaf exit, and you're gonna end up where you're looking. And it's gonna feel super weird, but you're gonna do it. Like you're gonna end up where you want. There's visual techniques that you can practice in the car. Some more practical ones. You could practice heel towing every single time you drive your manual on the road,
Mhm.
and get good at it on the street. You don't even have to like you could be an idiot on the track and get away with it, but if you get good at it on the street, you're going to be oh, chef's kiss, so precise and good on the track. You're going to sound like the best heel toe downshifter for the spectators. Like wow, wow, it's going to sound so
And
good.
with the heel toe, like you can practice that literally just sitting on your couch. Like you just literally just go through the motions, and imagine like, okay, I'm in fifth gear and I go fourth, third, second, right? And then you just like literally just do the motion with your hands, do like the left foot like clutch press, and then just like practice like pivoting your hip to like hit the thing. And it loosens up your hip. It like puts that physical motion into like some kind of muscle memory, like to build like some kind of foundation to work with. Because like if and I'm sure we have people listening to the podcast that have like literally never heel toed before.
People listen to this?
There's a chosen few people that listen to this. At least 19 people will listen to this episode because they're here right now. So it, like even just heel towing on the street might feel like it fills up all of their bandwidth, right? So like even before you're out driving around, like you can do that when the car's like freaking parked in the garage. You can do it like sitting in like your chair or whatever. Like it's a sim racing is like freaking great for it because you get unlimited reps and it's like relatively forgiving. And also like if you can heel toe correctly in iRacing where like you're never missing shifts um and like and it's not slowing you down by heel towing, then when you get to a real car, it's gonna be like freaking easy. Uh, go
You know
ahead.
what a limo stop is?
No, what is a limo stop?
Apparently a limo stop is when you brake release is so perfect
Ooh,
that no
yeah,
one feels the car stop.
exactly. So that's a way you can tune your brake release to be smooth, where it's not interrupting the weight of the car or whatever. Like, just be
Yep, yep,
super,
yep.
super deliberate with how you're driving the car on the street. And I promise you, those that deliberateness of your actions will transfer over to the competition.
And honestly, I think your ability to recognize it is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
'Cause you're gonna
100%.
have like you're gonna be going through it, you're gonna be paying attention to what's happening, it doesn't feel quite right on the track, what are the missing puzzle pieces? I'm not quite smooth on my brake release, and then as soon as you don't even have to think about the brake release, you have to observe the fact that the brake release is not as good as it needs to be, and the fact that you've built some muscle memory to back up that observation
Yeah.
will allow you to tap back into that muscle memory. Wow, we sound super hippie. And then you put the jade egg where we don't talk about. Is that crazy right now? But it's true though, I think. The last thing I was going to say is someone asked me at the race this weekend like how I heel toe this BMW. And I was like, I just do. I guess I don't know. I never thought about it. So the next time I got in the car, I paid attention to it. I was heel toeing the car with like the laces of the shoe above my like second to outside pinky toe. That makes sense? Like on my fourth toe.
So
That was where my foot was
so
hitting the pedal.
you
So
were
like
like
I'm
wrapping
braking
your
with my
foot.
big
Yeah.
toe
Yep.
and I was rolling my foot, and where I was getting the throttle pedal was on the laces of my shoes on the top of my foot, which became like the side of the pedal, you know?
Yep.
And I'm like, how would I have described that to them? I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
But the observation of that I think is important. I don't know that this is a specific example, but I just thought it was so fascinating when someone asked me, like, I don't know, I guess I just like roll over to it. No, I'm grabbing it with like the top of my foot and it just like it works. You just uh
But that's just
there's a bit
it's so
go ahead, sorry.
automatic.
I
It's
lost my
so
train of thought.
no, no, you're good. It's so
Yeah,
automatic to
yeah.
you
Thank you.
that
That's the end of the thought.
you didn't even like think about how you're doing it. You're just doing it, right? So, but
Yeah.
that's because it's been built as an automatic behavior. If somebody asked you and you're like, "Oh, I'm doing it like this," that means you've thought about it. That means that thing took up bandwidth that could be taken up by other aspects of driving, right? So that's what I'm talking about. The actions that you're doing, the more automatic they become to the point where somebody asks you, "What are you doing there?" And you go, I don't really know. I'm just doing it." Like that's when it's so automatic that you know that like you're literally your frontal lobe in your brain never even like paid attention to it. It's just something you do.
Yeah.
That's how you
Actually, that's a
build.
good point.
That's how you build bandwidth.
Yeah. What was the second part of his question? How do you build bandwidth and how do you
uh,
observe what?
ways to handle burnout.
Oh, palate cleansers. I that's always my answer.
Yeah. Uh, just
And
switching it
honestly,
up.
actually, let me expand on this. Palate cleanser events are what you do instead of what you normally do.
Hmm.
Do a different car, different track, different autocross site, different region, pick something different. I think not doing an event can be a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
I've never said that before on the podcast, but I think it's true.
Yeah. If you normally here's a palate cleanser. If you normally and Christine's earshot of this, so she's gonna hear it and go, "Oh," and she just went, "Uh oh."
Hi, Christine.
Tom says hi. Um, is if like let's say you leave every weekend and then you're like, you know what, I'm gonna be home this weekend. Do something that kind of sucks. Like do some yard work or like clean something or because then you know what? The next time that autocross weekend comes around, you're gonna be like,
What?
I'm doing that instead. That's a
What?
palate cleanser. That's a palate cleanser. I'm just saying.
Run a 5K. Walk on a sheet of Lego.
Throw yourself in a fire.
Yeah.
Then racing will seem fun again.
Go
Uh,
camping.
yeah, go sleep in the woods with coyotes howling around you. Christine goes, "Hey."
Yeah. Dressing or taking weekend off. Oh yeah, John. So John in the chat agreed. Do you? Okay, so having taken this weekend off, are you extra excited for? Wait, what are you doing next weekend?
No, no, I
I don't mean
autocrossed
to.
last weekend. I haven't had an off weekend
You
in
did.
like months. I can't remember the last time
Yeah,
I
you're
didn't drive
right.
a car. Yeah.
I think this weekend's your off weekend, isn't it?
No, no, I'm driving a car again. I I
Oh,
look,
where?
I'm doing operation like no off season again, so I'm trying to get the reps in. Dragway 42 has another event.
Okay.
I don't have a car for it. Well, I have my Miata. I could bring my Miata. I'm gonna try to find a co-drive and we'll see how that goes. If not, then I'll just bring my Miata with its open
I
diff or
like how
whatever.
DJ's option or DJ's strategy is I'm going to buy a car that I don't want to autocross so badly that I'm still going to work to go to events and not drive it.
It's fine. The car's fine. I just wish I had a diff, but like I don't want to spend the money on a diff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Taylor, I hope that helps. I think we gave a lot of ideas. I don't know that we gave an answer,
Yeah.
but that's all this podcast is.
I think we gave an answer on the bandwidth thing, because like
Yeah,
there's
sure.
stuff right now that I'm like trying to turn into automatic behaviors, where like now I don't have to think about it. But right now, in the process of trying to turn it into an automatic behavior, I'm thinking about it, right? Like I'll give you one example of something I'm like focused on right now. Is there's like a window where the amount of brake that you have on the entry of a corner, it pulls the car toward the apex the same amount. I'm trying to focus on that like minimal amount of brake that has the same effect. Does that make sense?
Are you saying that as you release the brake, the same steering angle? Say it one more time. Use your own words one more time.
Let's say like um 5 to 10% brake pressure has the same effect on where the nose ends up on corner entry. I'm trying to do 5% because then I end up in the same spot at the same angle. Everything's the same except my rolling speed's slightly faster.
Understood.
So
Yep.
then when I
Okay.
when I blend in the throttle, it's like a slower blend in because the car's like in a float, like a faster rolling float. So it's a slower blend in. I can't just go watt because if I did that, then the car would spin because it's like in such like a float state. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm trying to turn that into an automatic behavior where I can just manipulate it however it needs to be done for whatever the situation is, whatever the corner is, where I don't have to think about it. So like that's the thing I'm trying to turn into an automatic behavior.
I'm curious if you'll hit a point where your focus on driving, your focus on the mechanics and the details of the driving hits a point where you have to say, you know what, I'm just going to drive. I'm just going to do what I know I need to do. Like, just like stop thinking of details. And the reason I ask that is because there are times where I've hit, and I can't pinpoint one specifically, but I can say that it's happened for sure, where I just like, you know what, I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go try to go really fast. And as unproductive as that sounds, the fact that I've been fixated so hard on a thing, whether it's not hitting that cone or whether it's uh manipulating the traffic of this session or something, this, that, the other, the way I'm like doing this thing in the car. Shifting in the S2000 was a big one for me, like back in the day, and apparently again recently. That 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 it took me to just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna like shake this off and just drive the car. And this may never come up again ever, but I'm curious if it does with like the level of focus you're describing.
Yeah, so I'm not
'Cause I don't think
every
people
time
can
I
relate to that all the
drive.
time.
Yeah, maybe
You
this might
you
help
know what I'm saying?
this might help people listening. Every time I drive, I'm not focusing on that thing. Like when I'm doing qualifying in iRacing, I'm not focused on that thing. I'm just putting the best laps that I can, right? But then when I'm practicing the thing, I'm like intentionally practicing the thing, I'm putting mental focus on it. Like I'm deliberately practicing the thing. And then when it comes time to just put together the best possible lap that I can, it's the mentality of just put together a lap. Like just do whatever your best is at this moment. But when I'm trying to increase what my best is, I'm picking out stuff that I have control over that I have deemed a weakness of mine. And then I'll
Fair
deliberately
enough.
practice those things. I'm not doing that all the
Yeah.
time. That would be exhausting. And then I think you would lose track of the other things that are like still like already automatic behaviors, or like you would just get caught in the weeds. So like I'm glad you brought that up. Because I don't think I've ever made that distinction before of like when you're trying to create these automatic behaviors. Um you can't get like lost in that thing. It's just the thing that you're actively thinking about and focusing on. But when it comes time to like put down the thing you need to do, that's what I'm saying. Competition is not the greatest place to be practicing these things. You can still like work on those things, but like you still need to compete, right? Like you can't just be like eh, you know, when Tiger Woods at one point in his career changed his swing because there was flaws in his current swing. He was worse in the moment trying to change his swing than what he was, but he knew by changing it, it would get rid of some flaws that he had in his game and he would be better afterwards, right? So while I'm practicing whatever the thing is that I'm trying to turn into automatic behavior, I might not be going as fast as I could be otherwise, but I'm like actively practicing on the thing. But then when it comes time to like compete or like put down the lap that needs to happen or whatever, then you just get lost in the task. You just do the task, whatever your best of your ability is, and then you can work on the thing when you have like your designated practice time to practice on that thing.
I kind of have a radical theory that when it comes time to really do the thing, uh, it still boils down to vision. If you've built the foundation and you've built the muscle memory and you've built the subconscious executables, to use your word,
Yep.
if all that's there, then the only thing that matters is your vision. I think. I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like
Or the single biggest variable, maybe, is a
yes.
better
I would
phrase.
say that's like the thing that like when it feels like you're off your game, you're like, "Ah, I'm just not doing well," or whatever. It's always vision. It's always. It's all like cuz especially when you get to a certain point, like everything is so automatic that if you're like kind of messing up, it's just cuz your eyes are not doing what they should. Because the behaviors that you have at some point are so automatic that like you can't mess them up because it's just like your brain's been wired to do the things a very specific way. So if your vision is not feeding your brain the information it needs, then you'll mess all that stuff up. So
Yep.
I agree. I think vision 100%. If you're feeling off your game, then maybe just like blink a couple more times before like just clear you got to clear it up. Like you just got to expand what your vision's doing. I think that's part of the reason why I feel like I get rusty in the off season is my vision suffers. Uh, and I think recognizing that is the first thing that suffers will help get rid of like any off season rust that occurs, and hopefully doesn't occur. But yeah, I think that might be part of it.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I hope that helps. I forget what question we're answering at this point,
We're just
other than
talking.
it's yeah, we're just talking, we're just bullshitting. All right, what are you doing this weekend?
Um.
Hey, quick,
Oh.
before we do this, if you've made it this far somehow and whatever, uh, sim race, I forget what I was going to say. We're doing a Champcar sim race this weekend, and we are doing a little incentive, right, DJ?
Yep. Oh, you want me to say it? So
Yeah.
we're gonna send whatever the highest placing Lizard Brains team in this Champ Car race. I posted their Discord in our Discord, so if you want to find it,
Yep.
uh, we're
Discordception.
we're gonna send them t-shirts. So the highest placing, besides me and Tom, obviously.
Because I'm gonna crash. So it's what is it? It's a 3-hour Champ Car race
Three
in
hour,
iRacing
yeah.
using GT4
I
cars
I
at Daytona.
I think it's like 40-minute like stints of fuel. I think is like where the fuel ends up. I haven't really gamed it out or whatever. I like did 6 laps on the setup so far, Tom, and you're gonna love it. It's super deadly right now. Um, so Tom's already thrilled. You guys should see his face right now. He's giddy. Um, and
Made me
anyways,
laugh.
yeah. Anyways, so come out and do the race with us, and the highest placing Lizard Brain liveried car, we'll make sure to get your information and send you some shirts.
Yep. Otherwise, I'm going to be working on a resume for something I hope I can share with the podcast in the future somehow.
Oh,
What are you doing?
that autocross event on Sunday.
Oh, cool. Okay. Wait, the Champ Car race is Saturday?
Yes, yeah, I double checked
Got it.
because if it was on Sunday,
I should look.
I was gonna miss it. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah, because that autocross event is important. The November 1st autocross event or
Maybe
second,
find something fun to
November
drive.
2nd. It would be fun to drive something with some power, but it's whatever. I'll drive whatever. I'll drive an NC Miata with an open diff if I have to. So are you not driving anything except the sim this weekend, Tom?
No, I have this weekend off.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh wait. Tom and I might
I guess I could
stream.
come up there.
Tom and I might stream the race. I don't know if we'd stream it on probably stream it on YouTube, and then also like share it on Facebook or whatever. But I think we'll stream it. I just gotta figure that out. So
It's on you, bud.
yeah, I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Everything's great.
Okay. All right, that was fun. It's good catching up. Someone pointed out to me that no, we realized actually in conversation with someone that the podcast in the recent months has become you and I just catching up every week because we haven't talked nearly as much as we have in the past.
Yeah, because
I kind of love it.
this person was
We won't be
wondering.
this forever.
Yeah, he's like, oh well, what's Tom's plans for the weekend or whatever? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet. We haven't done the podcast.
Yeah. I promise there will be more guests and more topics and stuff, but I still think these little like meandering podcasts come up with fun discussions.
Yeah, and I like the questions, and yeah, we should do more guests. Though the audience is really split on the guests. Like half are like, oh, I just show up to like listen to you guys, and the other half are like, oh, I love the guests. So if you have a strong opinion, please let us know because we're down for either. So all right, Tom, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Let's
All
end
right.
this thing. To end it, I would love to share a fortune I got in a fortune cookie. Stay optimistic in January. Good things are coming your way. Love your hair. Hope you win.